If you're new here, hey girlies! So today's video is going to be, I don't even know if this is considered a story time or if this is just like a chat video, but this is something that I mentioned on Twitter and Snapchat a couple of months ago, and a lot of people keep bringing it back up and they're like, Vanessa, you never made a story time. You never really explained to us what you were even talking about. So today I'm going to be talking about satanic Instagrammers. When I lived in my old apartment complex, I'm not going to expose the address, I'm not going to expose the building because these people might still live there. At my old apartment complex, I don't even know where to start this story. Let's just say I moved there and I moved with Alexia, but she ended up moving out, so I was like, I need to make some new friends around the building. So then a couple months later, I started mingling with all the little social media people that I always saw filming vines. I always saw them just walking around, and they were all friendly, so I said hello. So I became pretty close friends with a lot of these people. I mean, we were shooting stuff, we were hanging out, we were getting dinner, we were getting lunch, we were just all chilling. And at this apartment complex, there was a campfire little station kind of thing where you can go and everyone just sits around and talks. So I remember one day we were sitting there and somebody brought up saying, hey, have any of you guys ever done any like scary stuff? And I was like, what does that even mean? Like, are you referencing my ghost stories or are you like actually asking? So this girl proceeds to tell me that on the sixth floor, they're doing satanic. This sounds so stupid. This girl told me that on the 6th floor, they were doing satanic worshiping and they were doing rituals for followers and success. And I know that sounds like a load of bullshit, but I'm dead ass, you guys. Like, if I need to bring this girl in as a source for people to not think I'm bullshitting, I will bring her in as a source. So this girl's over here telling the entire campfire that there's satanic worshiping going on the 6th floor. So if you're trying to get successful, if you're trying to get some more followers, go up there and they'll help you. Now this intrigued me because you know how you always hear the stories about Hollywood and LA people always selling their souls to the devil for success and music careers and stuff, but I don't understand it because I would never sell my fucking soul if I have one in the first place. But literally, why would you sell your soul for a successful Instagram video career? I mean, I'm not bagging anybody who does that because I enjoy going on Instagram and watching those videos. They make me laugh my ass off, so I'm not bagging that at all. I make YouTube videos, that's not any better. I'm just saying, why would you go against God and sell your soul for a couple followers? So it just really made me laugh because you know how you see these celebrities, supposedly conspiracy theory, Illuminati, all this stuff, that they sell their souls to get millions of dollars and all this stuff. So yeah, they're getting their millions, cool, do you. Burn in hell at the end of the day, your business, at least you had fun. Like, I feel like that's just really desperate. But I listened to what she said and I was really thinking about it and I was like, okay, I'm going to investigate. Y'all know I am a nosy ass bitch. I'm always sticking my nose, well, not anymore, now I mind my own business. But old Vanessa, last year, 2016, I was a mess. It was a very, very sick time in my life. We all know that. You've all seen the videos. But my messy ass was gonna investigate and get more information because, like I said, I'm nosy. So one day I go on the 6th floor, like I said, being nosy, and I'm just hanging out with my friends. Somebody had an apartment on the 6th floor, so I was just like this. Just chilling, some boy walks by, and the girl who told me all the information about the satanic person is like, that's the one, he runs all of it. So I recognized this boy before. I remember seeing him on the Explore page on Instagram, and I think I also saw him in a Instagram comedian's little videos where they'll open up the door and then they'll accidentally get smacked by it or something somehow. So I remember seeing this boy in a lot of that person's videos and stuff. Now this is gonna make me sound a little bit crazy, but if you watch my paranormal videos, if you watch any of my ghost stuff, you guys know that I have like, I don't know if it's called a sixth sense or something. Like, I just can feel when there's a bad aura around. Like, I feel when it's a really bad situation. I don't think I'm a psychic, but I feel like I can sense when like things are about to just like take a bad turn. But when this guy walked by, I swear on my entire life that I felt something before he even hit the corner. I got the chills. Yes, that apartment complex was cold half the time. I'm not surprised. When evil things are lurking, it gets cold. All my friends that would come over would always be like, oh my gosh, why are these halls freezing? So I would go up to the leasing office and complain. They'll be like, we literally try to warm it up, but it won't get warm. It's so cold here. But dead ass, I felt like some sort of like cold, like eerie presence as he walked past me before she even opened her mouth and said, that's him, that's him. So when I get back home later on, I go on Instagram and I go through this comedian person's Instagram, and I'm trying to look for this boy because I hadn't seen her or seen him in one of her videos in a while, but I remember seeing him. So I'm just scrolling. Eventually I find his ad and I go to his profile, and I'm kind of just looking through it, being nosy. I don't know if you guys have ever noticed this, but so when I was in psychology in high school, we did a project on serial killers and murderers and all this stuff. And if you look in their eyes, they all have a similar look. It's just like darkness, hollow, soulless, like you just don't see anything in there. It's just empty eyes. And whenever I looked at all of this boy's photos, that's all I saw in all of his pics. All I saw was a soulless, empty face. Like, yeah, he might have been smiling, but I didn't see any sort of light in his eye. I didn't see any eyes. He had two. I didn't see any sort of, like, yeah, he was smiling, but he didn't look joyful. It looked kind of creepy. So immediately I blocked him and I closed my phone because Now when I first moved to LA with Alexia, there was no problems in the apartment. It felt very clear. Yes, there were a few like incidences that happened, but that follows me everywhere I go, so it's nothing new to me. It's nothing different. But after Alexia left, a couple months later, whatever, all that, that's when the apartment started to feel kind of, you know, eerie. One day when this was around the time when I was dating this fuckboy. But one day, me and him were just hanging out in my apartment, and then a bunch of guys came to my apartment one day. Like, I didn't know any of them. They were just a bunch of Instagram boys. They were his friends, because that's what this boy was trying to do at the time, or whatever. I didn't know any of them personally. Of course, I've seen their faces before, but I didn't know them personally because I just seen them on like the Explore page once again with that same comedian person. And after they all left my house that day, I just felt like something wasn't the same. I asked the boy that I was with at the time who his friends were, what their names were, and all this stuff, and I started investigating once again like the nosy bitch I am. And I find out that they're actually friends with that boy. Now, I'm not saying because they're friends with him, they're going to do everything that he does, whatever, but when you are friends with somebody and they were in almost every single post with him, you're probably, you know, knowledgeable of what they're doing. I mean, the entire building knows, so obviously they know what he's doing, so I don't know if they took part of it or whatever, but after they left my apartment that day, it didn't feel the same. It felt very eerie. My friend Ashley one time came over and she's like, Vanessa, like, I don't know if you feel that. I mean, I'm pretty sensitive to this kind of stuff, but it doesn't feel good in here. My friend Ashley believes in all that spiritual stuff. She believes in all of the mojos and the auras and all that stuff, just like me. And she said one day she just came into my apartment and it just didn't feel the same. It felt very dark, it felt very heavy, it felt very unsafe. She asked me if there was any Ouija board playing going on in the house, if there was any midnight game, bath game, all these things, whatever going on, and I said, no girl, I don't do any of that stuff. I already deal with my own shit, I'm not trying to start anymore. And she asked me if anybody new had come into my apartment or if anyone that I didn't know personally just like came around me. And I said, yeah, like these people came into my apartment because it was his friend. And she's like, girl. Now I'm not saying that they brought in, yes I am. I'm saying that they brought something in my house. I honestly believe that they brought some sort of negative presence. Hey Penny. I really think they brought some sort of negative presence into my home that day. After that, no matter how many times I got the place cleaned, no matter how many times I got the carpet refreshed and windows left open, what are those things? Incense, chakra, that's Naruto. So I'm doing all these little things to clear the space, make everything seem very fresh, and no matter what I did, I couldn't get it. Now around this time is when everything was falling apart in my life, you guys. My relationship I had was literally going down south. The friendships that I had were becoming very toxic. I was doing things that I'd never done in the first place. My home felt unsafe. I didn't feel safe sleeping in my own bed, which nobody should ever feel that. I lost all complete motivation to my YouTube channel. I lost all complete motivation with everything that I was doing in my life. I didn't want to do anything. I didn't care. My depression was at an all-time high. My anxiety was at an all-time high. Literally all of it just hit me at once. My mom didn't even understand. Everything just suddenly started to go wrong. And I'm not trying to say like, oh, because they brought something in, that's what it was. But if you put yourself in a negative situation, a negative environment, that can happen. Now, of course, I made poor decisions around that time. I made bad decisions. But even when things started to get better, they would all suddenly crumble even more. Like out of nowhere. I'm not talking about like, oh, it was just this situation happened, so this was the conclusion. No, it just would be okay, and then boom, not okay. Now, I went back to this girl to ask her more information and more questions about this satanic guy, because I really believe that if you have a negative force on the outside, it can actually ruin your life, you guys. It could actually make things go wrong. So I was talking to her about it. I was like, whenever you like came across this person, did anything negative really happen in your life? Did anything like really change? And she said, yeah, actually I talked to the guy one time and literally a couple days later I was evicted from my home. And I said, you're lying. And she got evicted. And she said this boy would keep trying to talk to her. He would try to keep flirting with her because she was a cute girl. So he tried to flirt with her and all this stuff, and every time she would turn him down, something wrong would happen in her life. And at that point when me and her were friends, the reason she was in that apartment complex is because she was sleeping on somebody's couch in that apartment. Welcome back. Sorry. It's okay. She told me that ever since she blocked the guy on every single thing, and every time she sees him she goes the other way, her life has been making a turn for the better. Now, I'm not sure if he's the only one that's doing it. I'm pretty sure it's a lot of other people. I have a lot of tea on a lot of Instagram comedians, but we're not going to spill all of that right now. It's not my place. Now, like I said, I'm not sure if he's the only one that does this stuff, but I'm pretty sure there's other people. I mean, this boy that I'm talking about has quite a few followers, you guys. He doesn't have 20K, he doesn't have 100K, he has many Ks, many followers. I asked the girl who knew him personally and I said, has he always had all these followers? Has he always been doing the satanic stuff? And she said no. He started supposedly doing all this stuff when he moved to that apartment complex, and that's when he started to actually grow. So I don't know, you guys, that's a conspiracy theory. This is a conspiracy theory video. Conspiracy theory. Nice grammar. I swear every time I film something there is a police car going by. Do I need to move to a better neighborhood? So this video, like I said, is literally just a conspiracy theory. It's not a story time, it's just what I've experienced while I was living in that building. When I moved out of there, you guys, you don't understand the weight that I felt come off of me when I got into this new apartment. I felt such a breath of fresh air. I felt like I could breathe in here for once. I wish I could have brought all of you into my old place just to feel it. Like, you would walk in with an amazing mood. Like, say you just made $1 million. This wouldn't happen to me. But say you made $1 million and you walk and you'll be like, ugh. I guess it doesn't really matter. I mean, yeah, it's just money, but it won't make me happy. You will literally go from being the most happiest, joyful person to just being depressed. A lot of my friends would not want to go to my apartment because they felt that when they would walk in, and I don't blame them. That's why I wanted to get out of my lease so fast. Okay, my lease, let's say it ended, when did it end? March or February? My lease ended around March 13th. And I had been trying to get out of that lease since December, January time. So the rules to get out of the lease were basically you have to pay the next 3 months of your rent. Even if you have 9 months left, you only have to pay 3 months and then you're out of it, which is so stupid because that's so much money. In the contract, it said, say you have only 2 months left, so you only have to pay those 2 months. But every time I would try to get out of my lease, even if I only had 2 months left or 1 month left, they would keep saying, oh, you have to pay $10,000. Oh wait, no, actually you have to pay 15. Where are these numbers coming from? They wouldn't let me leave. I don't know if something was attaching me to that place or not allowing me to go, but every time I tried to go up in that office and get the fuck out, the prices kept going up and it was like I was stuck. So I was so relieved to get out of there. I mean, yeah, stuff does happen in this apartment once in a while, but it feels airy. It feels like I can breathe. I don't feel like I'm walking into Doomsday or 2012 the movie. So yeah, that's just a little experience I wanted to share with you guys because so many of you guys have been asking me, what were you talking about when... It's been 1 minute. But yeah, like I was saying, this is just, I guess, like a conspiracy theory. I mean, I'm not sure if they're really Satanists or whatever, but if everyone in the building is mentioning it, like people that I met that first day, they're like, did you hear about the Satanists on the 6th floor? Did you hear about the worshiping on the 7th? I'm like, what? If Instagrammers are doing this, are YouTubers doing it? Are YouNowers doing it? Selling my soul for 10,000 bars. But like I said, when I moved out of this that apartment complex, wow, my life turned around. I'm going on tour! I have merch coming out. I'm working on a clothing line! Yeah, you guys didn't know that. But speaking of merch, my merch is out now! I told you guys that it was coming out soon, and today is the day! Go to the description below. I literally just went about talking about Satan and all these things, but hey, buy my merch! But yeah, I'll have a link below. I am so excited to show you guys all this stuff. I'm going to have multiple collections coming out, different things. It's not all going to say stick on it. It's all going to be different stuff. This is just going to be my first round of items, and then, I don't know, maybe in a month or maybe in a month and a half, 2 months, I will release more stuff. At the moment, I have 7 more items that I want to get out to you guys. But as of right now, we have sweatshirts, off-the-shoulder sweatshirts, t-shirts. We have, what else? And something that I've never seen before. I wanted to try this. I don't know if you guys are gonna want to buy it. I don't know if you guys are even interested. But literally so many people have told me, we love your tattoos, we love your tattoos. I wish I could have your tattoos, but my mom won't let me. So I went ahead and came up with a plan of making a temporary tattoo sheet. So if you want to have any of the little tattoos that I have, now it's on a temporary tattoo sheet so you can put them on yourself. And it doesn't even have to be like, oh, it's because it's Vanessa's tattoos. No, just if you're not allowed to wear or get an actual tattoo, or maybe you want to get the tattoo, but you want to see what it looks like first, get my tattoo sheet. We are shipping all over the world, you guys, so make sure you pick up your Something Vanessa merch. Like I said, descriptions, links, everything below. If you have any comments or any suggestions or anything you have to say about everything I've said in this video, feel free to comment below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and like I said, if you're new here, feel free to subscribe, turn on my notifications, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye!